Aloha and good afternoon. My name is Juergen Steinmetz, joining you from livestream.travel and eTurbo News in Honolulu, Hawaii. Actually, I'm joining you from the Honolulu International Airport right now, sitting in front of Starbucks, and just had a $10 water. And I'm going to show this to you because this is the most expensive water I think I ever had. It's Fiji water. It's actually quite good, but it's quite expensive. Yes, I was wondering what's in there. But I guess it's good because I've been running around carrying my heavy suitcase, and so we needed water no matter what price, so that's okay. But Peter, we have a nice day here. I'm getting ready for a long flight to Chicago and on to Newark. How are things in Texas today?
Today, things were very nice. It was a beautiful day in the 70s or lower 20s if you use the Celsius scale. It rained this morning, but after that, all was great. So it's been a really nice day and cannot complain at all. Of course, lots is going on, and that's really more important right now than the weather. I'm glad you have good weather for flying. Of course, on the East Coast, they're expecting some bad weather, so you may be running into some really tough weather and the storms and supposedly major windstorms on the East Coast. So hopefully you're.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes, so hopefully that will make your trip a little more exciting. But anyway, lots is going on. Of course, you're going to London for the purpose of the World Travel Market, and that's really important. I'm going to be speaking at it on Zoom, and actually the entire session that I'll be speaking at is on Zoom on November 3rd, and talking about really an important issue in tourism, which is the whole issue of cybersecurity and how that's impacting the world of tourism. So I'm not going to give away too much, but it will be an interesting panel discussion. Of course, you'll be at the World Tourism Market talking and dealing not only that, but giving a number of our hero awards. And you'll be representing, of course, yourself and me and the entire World Tourism Network. And maybe you want to talk a little bit about what you'll be doing in London.
Yeah. Let's first, if you don't mind, with all respect, correct you. I'm sorry. It's the World Travel Market, not the World Tourism Market.
Yes.
We're the World Tourism Network, so I don't want anyone to think we own the World Tourism Market. It's the World Travel Market.
Travel Market, World Tourism Network. Yeah, they're both keys. I get a little, and also Tarlow, so it could be the World Tarlow Market and the World Tarlow Network. But
absolutely, yeah. And I'm looking forward. It's going to be the first WTM in London after Corona, because the last time it didn't happen because of the Corona threat. So everyone is excited. That's usually where the world meets. You may remember in March of 2020, we went to Berlin, and ITB, the largest trade show in the world, never happened. WTM is the second largest trade show and headquartered in London. So I'm looking forward. And yes, we do have an event. And this event is for anyone who's going to London. Is going to be on Monday at 4 p.m. at AF250, what is the stand for the Kenya Tourism Board. And Kenya is our host, Minister Najib Balala, who actually was awarded the Hero Award as the very first person awarded the Hero Award back in 2020, more than a year ago. And he's now hosting our event in London. And we're looking forward. I already have confirmation from Minister Bartlett, who will be there, Dr. Talent Briffa, who all of you know, and many more. We're actually going to honor Jens Threatnard. He is the new CEO of the Barbados Tourism Board, and he's bringing his minister to the event. So we're looking forward to meeting this.
When is that event going to take place again? What time?
It's going to take place at 4 p.m. London time at AF250. And we're going to put it on World Tourism Events later on today. So anyone who is in London can join us.
Yeah.
And we also have a new hero we will be announcing, what is Dov Kalman. And many of you probably know Dov. He is based in Israel, and he represents the Tourism Authority of Thailand. We invited the minister and also the governor of tourism, who is in London, and hopefully they can join us. So we're looking forward to this. And we have many more of our friends. Birgit Trauer and several others told me they're in London. we're going to meet. And then your event is on the last day of the World Travel Market. It's on
I
Wednesday.
Have you saying it?
Yes, and it's, I believe, what time? It's the event at 11 o'clock, I believe, London time.
11:30 to 12:45, and I'll be giving you more information. I did hear from them today, and it will be an interesting event. It's going to be on the big screen in London, and I have just today dialogued with the person who is going to be the host of it, and then there'll either be one other person speaking along with me or two others. It's not quite clear yet how many people will be on the panel, but we're going to be talking about all the threats, the cyber threats, on two levels. On the level of cyber threats to the tourism industry, and then cyber threats to the individual traveler. And those are, of course, interconnected, but they're also separate. So these will be really major. It's an important issue, and I hope lots of people will be there. And I'm going to try to be at the Heroes Award if I can figure out a way of doing it.
Yeah,
by Zoom.
I'm not sure for everyone if we can actually Zoom it. It depends on the internet setup, so I will check this. So there will be a last minute announcement because it is on the first day. So technically I wouldn't know till just a few hours before, but we'll try this. I'm actually staying at a hotel what is adjacent to the Excel. So it's very easy for me to get my computer and try to put this together. Now, also what is interesting is that Saudi Arabia last minute came in as the major event sponsor for the World Travel Market. So they're having several events, and I understand the minister from Saudi Arabia, who is becoming quite a known figure in the world these days, together also with Gloria Guevara, who was the former CEO of the World Travel and Tourism Council, will be there. And they had a big event today. They had a big event in Riyadh, and they have a big agreement. And this agreement is between Saudi Arabia and Spain. There was a little bit of a conflict, or at least I would say some tension between Saudi and Spanish tourism when the rumor went around that Saudi tourism wants to move the headquarters from Madrid to Riyadh. And this was not only a rumor, this was really something Saudi Arabia was trying to do. But now they got together, and today they signed an MOU and an agreement what will really shape the future of the World Tourism Organization, most likely. And we're going to hear a lot more about how this would work and what the agreement exactly is. You can see on eTurbo News that we have the exact transcript of the MOU. It was just published today. So take a look, but there's a lot more coming. And I think at World Travel Market, there are going to be some other big announcements. I was told some of this off the record, so I don't want to name this here, but it's going to be quite phenomenal. And I think we're going to see a really change within the WTM after this. Right now, unfortunately, with Zurab, who is the Secretary General, having his own event in Barcelona at the same day this event in Riyadh, you see there is a lot of tension, a lot of confusion. So we hope this can be all sorted out.
Well, it's really important that the tourism industry get its act together. As you know, not only has it suffered terribly from COVID, but one of the big things right now that's taking place in the United States, and I would not be surprised in other places, is that tremendous number of flight delays. Southwest Airlines today had 850 flights delayed again. A lot of the airlines have reduced staff because of COVID, sometimes because if members of their staff don't want to be vaccinated or whatever. And I don't want to get into the argument of should you force people to be vaccinated or not, but the consequences of that are that a number of people have left, and that's caused a lot of flight delays. And people are really worried, especially as we're going into the December holiday season, and half the world is traveling. If there are going to be flight delays, it's not going to create some real problems for the tourism industry. So one of the things that's really important is the tourism industry face the fact that it's first now recovering, and that we need to really provide good service and a good sense of showing that we care so that people will want to come back to travel. If it becomes too much of a hassle, they may walk away from it again.
Yeah, no, Peter, absolutely. Luckily, I mean, I'm looking here at the departure board and there are no delays whatsoever. So maybe it didn't hit Hawaii yet. So
Now,
let's, let's
I
hope
don't
it's
know
good.
if there are any, which airlines you're looking at.
Well, I'm looking at, we have flights right now departing here to the mainland on United. That's why I'm flying on. We have Delta. We have a lot of flights on Southwest Airlines.
Yeah.
And they all
Well,
seem to be on
Southwest
time.
has had a very hard time, especially out of Florida.
Right.
And of course, one of the things Hawaii is you're kind of at the end of the road there. So if you start with a flight delay on the East Coast, it eventually gets its way across to the West Coast. But this has been a problem that has been an ongoing problem. The other problem, of course, that the tourism industry is going to have to face, because not all tourism is by airline, lots of people drive. And with the cost of gas going up just radically around the world, this is also going to impact the cost of goods, the cost of food, and of course, the cost of travel. And they're now predicting this will be the most expensive Thanksgiving dinner in the history of the United States. We're talking about a turkey shortage. And of course, as you well know, there's a whole issue of the supply chains that are not working well. And so this is something that's impacting Europe, it's impacting the United States, it's impacting lots of places. And tourism is very dependent on this type of stuff. If hotels can't
Yeah,
get...
no, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the most dependent places in the world is where I'm at now, because we have to ship almost everything in, except for the pineapples, you know. So, and that is definitely a problem.
Right, and if you can't get goods there, and the restaurants can't get food, and have very limited menus, people are not going to be happy, and they're not going to want to come back to Hawaii. So, these are really, they create the enchantment and the beauty of travel, or the horror of travel and the nightmare of travel. And we don't want it to be a nightmare. We want it to be enchanting and wonderful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what everyone wants. And everyone is ready for this after being locked down for so many months. And it's coming back. Hopefully it's going to come back the right way. Yeah. And we see what every region, of course, is different. And every situation is different.
And so are you going, did you get a first class ticket or an upgrade out of Hawaii?
I actually got I got my upgrade. I'm going to be in a nice sleeper seat. So that's going to be quite good. So I'm looking forward to this. And I'm hoping I get my same upgrade going to London. It looks pretty good. When I look at the open seats, it's not bad. Unfortunately, when I come back on the 8th of November, the flight is completely full. There's no chance of an upgrade. And this is because the United States opens to Europeans on the 8th. Yes. So this is the first day I'm flying exactly on the day when everyone else wants to get to the United States.
Maybe that's the solution, is the United States should not allow Europeans to come in, and therefore you'll be able to get more upgrades.
No comment.
I don't think that'll happen. But it will be really interesting to see. I'm glad that the United States is opening up, even if you don't get an upgrade. And of course, one of the things will be interesting to hear what you have to say about England. Yesterday, I was at a meeting and somebody told me something, and I don't know if it's true or not. So I'm repeating something I don't know, but that Serbia is now a real hothouse of COVID. And they were really doing very well, I understood, in the beginning with getting vaccinations. But they seem to, a friend of mine who works in security said to me he didn't want to go to Serbia because the amount of COVID there is now tremendously high. So I don't know if that's true or if he has a misstatement, but if so, that's a real reversal again.
That's definitely would be a surprise because, our professor Snesana, who's been on our event many times, she was saying that Serbia is actually taking care of neighboring countries with vaccine. They have plenty of vaccine and everyone is vaccinated. So this would definitely be a surprise.
Now, I wonder, though, though I do believe some of the vaccines were the Chinese and Russian vaccine, and they might be having some issues. But again, I don't have that as official data. I want to make it really clear. This was somebody in the security world who told me they did not want to go to Serbia for this reason. And maybe our professor will be able to give us more accurate information.
Yeah, we're definitely going to reach out to her and see what is new. Plus, I know the World Federation of Tour Guides are ready to go, to physically go to Serbia for their annual event. So let's hope they will be able to do this safely.
Sure, exactly. And I'm hoping you don't get sick in England. So the same thing.
Well, I got my third shot, my booster shot 2 days ago, and I'm all prepared, I hope. But these days, you never know, Peter. We all have to live with COVID. We're not going to get rid of it.
No,
and,
COVID
but we can.
Here, COVID, a virus never dies. And so once it's introduced,
unfortunately,
it may mutate, but it will still be around.
Right.
And so well, listen,
Peter, I gotta run and get my flight. Otherwise, we can talk here for a few more hours, and I can go home again. But hopefully,
well, you might as well get to use your $10 bottle of water. So enjoy, drink it with relish, and have a wonderful flight to Chicago. And I guess I will be speaking. Where will you be tomorrow night?
I will be in New York tomorrow night, and I'm going to be going and staying at the Trump Hotel. So I'm looking forward to see how this is.
That should be a wonderful experience. And I will speak with you then tomorrow in the big city of New York, in the Big Apple. All right.
Peter, you have a nice evening, and aloha.
Aloha, have a great flight.
Yeah, and for everyone else, if you wanted to watch this again or watch any of our events and news breaks, simply go to livestream.travel, or even better, you go to our YouTube channel and everything will be in archive. Our YouTube channel is very easy to find. Click on the link on eTurbo News, or just go to youtube.com/travel news group. Peter, you have a nice evening.
Thank you.
And we talk to you tomorrow.
Let me hear from you when you get to New York. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.